A new patch, a new era for the Mongols, and today we're going to take a look at them. They get a Gur. That's what they start off with. We've got Mongols being played by Vortix in blue on the north corner of the map, and his opponent today in the south is Beastie playing in red as the French civilization, one of the strongest civilizations arguably in the feudal age. And we shall see, because the thing is, the Mongols are no slouches. They are known for their aggression, and I think today Vortix will have to be aggressive because Beastie, he likes to play the long game, or at least he's very proficient at it, and he's very effective at it. So Vortix will want to get the game up and running very quickly as the Mongols. And the Gur has done a lot of things for the Mongols. It's given them, obviously, the drop-off point, but it can also act as a scout and gather sheep if you so wish. But the Vortix are actually just using this now to be able to pick up the gold efficiently. And it means that he could actually potentially go for early wheelbarrow builds. But indeed, the Mongols, as expected, are going for an outpost rush with a barracks, and we shall see if the outpost rush has been nerfed to an extent that it's not viable, or how he does this and how he pulls. Oh, hang on a minute. You see what I see? Uncharacteristically, Beastie loses his scout to the town center. It's not something you even look for usually, because it just doesn't usually happen in the pro level scene. But Beastie just perhaps wasn't paying attention there just for a couple of seconds, and that was enough for him to lose a scout. And free sheep donation there. That's actually going to be huge for the Mongols. Especially because the French, well, they rely on food so badly, and Beastie's going to be without food for quite some time. He's going to need to adapt, and can he adapt? That is the question. Holy moly, that's actually a big setback already. He'll need to bring those sheep back home. I'm not sure if he's got many. Let's just see what he's got. Now, thankfully, he did go for 2 scouts, so only the 1 sheep there. I think he's going to have to transition to berries. He'll run out of sheep there very quickly. You'll have to drop a mill now. Obviously, the French do often, get an early mill for the wheelbarrow. It looks like it's going to have to go a little bit early and rely on berries. Might not actually be able to afford an early night at this timing. 2 villages on wood, 4 on gold. So pretty standard build so far. 8 on, well, there were 8 on food, but obviously now going with 5 villages to build a school of cavalry. That's actually quite extensive. Usually we see up to about 4. So Beastie going for an extra one. I suspect because he knows that he's going to be running out of food underneath the town centre quickly with the sheep. So prefer to keep that villager building rather than getting the berries. And 2 spearmen are being brought forward now for Vortix with the scout and a villager looking to get the outpost up. Where will he put it? Will he put it near the woodline? Might need to circle around here through onto the gold. And Beastie does something that we often see. He deletes the mining camp. He doesn't want to give any raiding bonus out. And I don't know if Vortix got any shots off there, because he doesn't actually have to well, he just has to set it alight, doesn't he? And there's not that much that Beastie can do to prevent it if the outpost does go on the gold. In fact, Vortix doesn't actually go for the gold. He goes for the wood line, and you get that outpost there, and there's nothing that Beastie could do too much about that. But the thing is, this is actually what's making quite a lot of sense now. Going 5 villages of the school cavalry means he'll be up to the next stage quicker, but the problem is he'll need the wood for an archery range and some archers. And it looks like Vortix actually deletes that and decides to circle around towards the bottom end of that wood line. There is the age up for Beastie, getting an archery range, and villagers garrisoning inside, trying to snipe the Khan. Doesn't quite manage it. We'll be able to afford a couple of archers here, and might even deny this outpost rush. 2 spearmen added to the mix, so 4 in total now. Look at the number of sheep here, pretty impressive. What a haul, 13 of them, and yeah, Beastie's going to have to start going on over to berries, and that's a problem, because it means that he's got exposed eco really early in the game. He's going to get an extra scout as well. So something we commonly see is when facing against the outpost rush is that you want to have enough melee units. You want the archers there to snipe the spearmen, so the outpost will go up in the end. Despite the nerf to the outpost, which is the increased villager building time, it will be going up. And also the reduced HP on these things. 750 HP now. 2 archers coming out. Queued out. One comes out already. He's going to start firing on the villager. Decides to head back because he knows he can't deny the outpost. And the spearmen immediately garrison inside. The archer's going to go around the other side now. Looks like Beastie looking to go on some stone. Maybe getting an outpost of his own. Arrow slits maybe. Ooh, dives a little bit too far forward onto the outpost of that archer. Loses a lot of valuable HP. Pretty uncharacteristic mistakes there for Beastie, I have to be said. Now, the one thing that the Gur that we were talking about earlier does is it offers a little bit of a faster uptime to the fuselage for the Mongols after the outpost rush. It means you need to collect 50 less wood to be able to afford the Gur for the gold, so it's actually really, really nice. And now, not at too much of a delay, 6 minutes on the clock, and it's up to the fuselage. It used to be a lot longer usually from a standard outpost rush build, and it can get arrow slits now immediately in that outpost. And you get the feeling that Vortix is looking good because Beastie will want to try and siege this down, but the problem is there are 4 spearmen garrisoned inside here, and arrow slits coming in soon. I don't think Beastie's going to be able to take care of this before arrow slits comes in, and so that means it forces Beastyqt into needing a blacksmith for some rams. Looks like he might be even going for a second town centre because he's got 5 villages on stone. It does appear to be so. Vortix going to be looking to get an extended fuselage here, but at least out of Beastie. But Vortix himself is looking to go to the castle age because he's really saturating the gold villages. 7 of them on that gold mine. They can only just fit around that one side. A couple more and they'd have to go around the other side or around the sides of that gold vein. There's the arrow slits. It's going to be firing at the house. Khan diving a little bit too close to the town centre for comfort. Just making sure the outpost rush doesn't progress any further. I'm not entirely sure where that villager went in the end for the Mongols. But now the horsemen on the field. Villagers here pretty unprotected here on the stone mine. This is a problem for Beastie. He's going to struggle here. Pulls away the villagers. Doesn't get the 300 stone. This is fantastic work by Vortix with the early aggression, and it's going to be picking off a villager here. Oh no, actually just survives. Beastie doesn't have textiles yet either. Horseman trying to focus down on the archers, gets good value, takes out one. And these are fully, well, they're fuselage upgraded horsemen, not early horsemen anymore. I mean, Beastie will get the stone he needs. Does have enough wood for that second town centre. He will need to move to another pocket eco, maybe on the left here, near the berries. That could be a nice spot. Does lose a horseman there, Vortix. But quite a few idle villagers. Oh, just 1 stone needed. Does have that villager on stone though. Villagers carrying berries in the meantime, but this is a very delayed second town centre. And the problem for Beastie is that, well, Vortix already has enough gold to get up to the next stage, and he just needs a bit more food. He's been spending a lot on horsemen, hence the lack of food to get up to the next stage. But he'll be getting up to the next stage castle age soon, and it'll be difficult for Beastie to tolerate. He might need to invest in some spears, especially if Lancers come out. The stable is already up and running for Vortix, so a transition to Knights or Lancers rather would be pretty simple. Villagers being used to fight now, they don't actually do too badly against the horsemen, especially with the archers in behind. Second town centre now is up and running. 29 villagers for Beastie, 30 for Vortix. So despite the French faster town centre working, Vortix applying so much pressure that he's been able to do a lot of damage and take out a villager or 2. Archers, only 1 or 2 needed so far because of the number of sheep that Vortix managed to grab. Pretty impressive sheep count there. Alright, second town centre is now up and running, but I don't know, it feels like Castle Age is going to be coming in soon, and that's going to be a world of pressure. It is indeed going to come out soon. It's going to be the step redoubt. Now this Gurk could be moved somewhere else, maybe just to make the woodline more efficient. So many applications this starting Jur. And Vortix rushing it up with 12 villagers. Almost 10 minutes on the clock, halfway up to the castle age. Beastyqt spending an extended time in the feudal age. Let's take a look at the army composition. He's going to need to invest in knights and spears, you feel. Very expensive units. And let's take a look at where he's getting wood here. Actually looks like Beastie's struggling for wood. Having to go to the northern wood line here. Again, it's relatively exposed. Things going well here for Vortix, that's for sure. There is that castle age. Beastie's going to be under a lot of pressure very soon, so you need to hold off somehow. Khan being annoying. And it is a veteran Khan as well. 2 knights there. Going to look to try and get some damage. I think if you're Beastie, you need to put some pressure, and that's what he's looking to do. A prayer tent's going to be going up, looking to get those relics. He's got that castle age time. Got a huge advantage and a massive window of opportunity to get those relics, but Beastie knows about it. He could use his knights to try and guard some of the relics, which we'll see. And every bit of idle time caused here by Vortix is really, really useful for him. And the Mongols being played very, very nicely here for Vortix, showing us how we can counter the French in some ways with the Mongols. As it happens, the Mongols do actually have a very good win rate in this patch against the French. And that's actually really curious because it's not always been that way. And Vortix demonstrating the power of the Mongols today. Lots of villagers on that step redoubt, 17 of them. The equivalent of an extra 8 villagers. The step redoubt, of course, means that the gold dropped off is increased by 50%, so 17 villagers here is the equivalent of an extra 8 there. It's a large villager lead, and now these are Feudal Age Knights versus Lancers, Castle Age units. The Shaman there healing each other up, and this is looking bad for Beastie, not being able to get too much damage. They lost a lot of HP on those Knights, and has to head back home without getting the damage he wanted. Getting the Blacksmith though does mean he's got the first attack upgrade, Bloomery. And we can hear that chiming of the first relic being picked up by the Shaman. Vortix looking strong here. There is barracks going down for Beastie. As we expected, Spearmen need to be built here because the Lancers are coming out, and they're coming out fast. He's going quite heavy on gold. Maybe looking to get to that Castle Age soon. About to say Imperial Age is nowhere near that, of course. We can take an engagement here. Charge attack goes off, and then he's going to back off. Spearmen, not enough Spearmen. Well, there aren't any Spearmen. Need some Spearmen in there in the mix as well. Beastie will need to take some really cost-effective trades to find a way back into the game. Economy 39 villagers for Vortix, 52 for Beastie, but don't forget you can add on about 8 here because of the gold villagers. Ovu being moved over to this stone here on the front lines, and looks like Beastie going to try and wall up here. That might be key. That might be a way to buy him some time. Villagers coming out. I think he's had enough. I think he wants to take out the outpost. Doesn't have textiles yet though. Sending the knights forward. I'm not sure why these guys have got the torches out. Yeah, it looks like he wants to take out that outpost to get the wood line and maybe wall up again on the right side. Walling it to the right side of the edge of the map might be quite nice. It will offer him protection for 2 deer patches and berries and 2 gold. So this is actually a very key part of the map here on the right side. And I wonder why he's quite keen on taking it out. But the outpost will go down. A couple of spearmen on hand. Spearmen are going to coming out straight away to try and take out a knight or 2. Might be able to get 1 knight there. So actually really, really nice trade there for Vortix, that's for sure. To take out a knight. And the horsemen do back off. They've got the mobility. Yeah, the villagers going out here on the right side for this pocket eco, for the berries and the deer. That could be a focus for attack though for Vortix, and he does give his position away with the Shaman on that western sacred site, but there's not a lot that Beastie can do. Can't get out there in time. Lancers wrap around. They get a lot of kills on the berries. And you think if you're Vortix, just keep doing what you're doing, and he's going to be in a very commanding lead here. Knight numbers or Lancer numbers already starting to build up. Let's take a look at the relic count. 2 already. And a third's just been picked up, and yep, this is looking bad for Beastie. But we've seen Beastie do crazier things and win back from crazier situations. So game not over by a long shot. Been protected this relic behind the walls as well. Yeah, with these static defenses on the west side, might need to keep his army here on the right side. That'll offer him a little bit of a consolidated and concentrated economy that he can build into. A second town center going out for Vortix, so he is not looking to let the villager lead build too much. And in fact, if anything, Vortix has the villager lead because, well, effective villager lead is 10 villagers behind. But don't forget, step redoubt. It's about equal then, about even. Having said that, the relic's play a factor here. So yeah, he definitely has the economy lead now. 4th relic being brought in. Redeposited, that one's going to be deposited soon. The wall's going up on the right side, going to be protected by this army. And looks like it's going to be well protected. But on the left side, the walls does get denied. That's a problem for Beasties. A lot of wood investment. Not to get those walls up, that's actually a problem. He's going to micro these lancers back. Quite a few spearmen on hand. We will push this back, and I think Beastie really needs to rush these walls up, because otherwise all these extensive walls are going to be for nothing if they're still open on the west side. And that's what happens. 2 villagers will be brought out. 3 villagers, in fact, to try and wall this up. Lancers again trying to wrap in. Oh, Beastie not paying attention. The lancers get in again. Oh, that's so painful. He loses another villager. 2 villagers just for 1 palisade segment. And that's painful. We're going to lose a 3rd villager as well. And Spearman not there on hand, not in the right position. And Beastie just wasn't paying attention at the right moment. And again, on the right side, villagers aren't being allowed to wall up. And this is painful. Vortix putting on the pressure. Getting the archer rangers out for some crossbows. Crossbows, lancers, incredibly strong army composition for the Mongols. I mean, the sad thing is that this is usually the army composition for the French. They usually go for knights and Arbaletier, but of course, Beastyqt still in the feudal age, having to extend it. 61 villagers to 59, and Vortix actually has the villager lead at this point, despite being an age up as well, because of the relics, and that's so important here. Old Vein has been taken out. That first one has moved on to a second, further back and nice and protected in a strong position. Answer numbers are starting to build up. Going to be torching down that gate, and could this be a game that Beastie loses? We do not say that often. It's very rare that we see Beastie lose, especially in this fashion. A couple of outposts going to be going up on that wood line, and this is a nice position for Vortix because just strategy-wise, he's denying wood. He knows that Beastyqt is having to stay at home. He's pinned in, and if he can deny wood, that's the key resource that he's vulnerable on. Another outpost here will deny this wood, and then Beastyqt will be starving for wood. There's a couple of 100 wood banked up though. Lancers and crossbows, a menacing army. 29 army for Beastie, feudal age army. 25 for Vortix, castle age army. Beastyqt will be getting up to the next stage quickly soon, but the problem that brings in, he's got a lot of resources he's going to pump into that next age up, and he might need those resources to get up to the acceptable military numbers. He's got knights and spears, which is actually quite a nice composition, but the problem is he's not accounted for the Arbaletier, doesn't have any counters for that. And now the siege is coming on the field. Trebuchets are being built, outposts are being built. These outposts will offer a lot of protection, getting these Ringhold in placement, so that's going to be hard for Beastyqt to clear up. Barracks production going down. It looks like Beastie's not going to the castle age. He's going to... Wait, is he? Yes, it is. He is indeed. He's going up with the Royal Institute. He wants those upgrades. He wants those Imperial Age upgrades in the castle age. It houses all the technologies unique to the French. It reduces the research by 30%. Makes them cheaper by 30%. Quite extensive discount there. And of course, it allows for the Imperial Age upgrades. The Knight's going to take out a Trebuchet. Maybe a little bit sloppy there for Vortix to let that happen. He does have quite a few crossbows. A bit surprised we didn't get to see that fully. Not sure how that happened. In any case, Beastie calls it. He calls it GG. He loses a knight. He knows he's far behind. Lancer's numbers look menacing. And Vortix shows us how the Mongols can be incredibly strong. And he takes out the French, played by Beastie. Hope you guys enjoyed this casted game. There's a lot of strategy talk on this version of my casted games. Hope you enjoyed it. And do let me know if you kind of enjoyed this style a bit better. And hopefully we'll continue with some more casted games. Take care and see you next time.